So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom, and in this video I'm going to turn French. Da, da, da. So yeah, I was somewhat challenged by one of my subscribers in a video. He said, what are you going to do for your 1,000th subscriber video? Are you going to do a French unit as a penance? And those who watch the video will know that I have a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing about never playing or painting French Napoleonic figures. And it is a bit of an ongoing joke, and it's got a bit silly because now I've just got tons and tons of Confederacy, the Rhine troops and other things, just so I don't do French. But I thought, you know what, that's not a bad idea. I found this box of Warlord French Chasseurs à Cheval in my pile of shame, and one of the light cavalry brigades that's in the same division or same corps that my cleve-bergs are modelled on from 1812 has two battalions or two regiments of Chasseurs à Cheval in there. So I thought, well, that's a good excuse to do it. So I thought, well, it's a good opportunity also for me to show my progress through making these models. Yeah, this is it. So this is a box of, what does it say, 12 hard plastic and metal 28mm French light cavalry models. It says the date 1789 to 1815, so a nice wide array. Box art on the back looks interesting. Contains 12 easy to build light cavalry, 2 metal commander miniatures. So I mean that's 14 then. Oh well. Optional metal arms for the eagle bearer. Includes options for shakos, oilskin covered shakos, easy for you to say, and the elite company fur hat. Let's have a look. So there's the metal. And here's the sprues. Move that out of the way. So, we'll come back to the metal figures in a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprues here. And they all look pretty much the same. Those certainly are the same. They've got 2 horses, looks like they're in halves, and 2 men on each. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and there's your 12. So yeah, that answers the question. So it's 12 plus you get the lead ones. That's good. Well, not lead, metal ones. So as it said, there's an option on, you've got a covered shako, you've got the fur for the fur hat for the grenadiers or for the elite company. What's that on there? Not entirely sure what that is. Oh, it's an upside down shako. There you go. That's uncovered shako. That's an uncovered shako, that's an uncovered shako. So you've got a few options here. Sword arms come separately. Looks like they're sort of designed to be sort of on the shoulder, sort of blade on the shoulder thing. And also got the handbags with the sword attack, with the scabbards attacked. So let's see what these are like, shall we? Simplest thing. Move that out of the way. We'll come back to the metals. So let's just pop off one of these horses. pops out quite neatly. Just take some of the flashing off, or this is the join where hear my cat meowing. There we go. A little bit of flash under there. Actually not too bad condition really, not an awful lot on there, bit on the edge there. Right, just found a glue that actually works. Stick some of this on there, just see how this goes. Yes, cat's complaining because she wants attention. Stick those together. How does that go? That seems to stick together pretty well. Let's do one of the men. Pop these off. We'll pop off, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take off the Busby first, the bearskin first of all, because I'm definitely going to have a company of them, or squadron of them within my regiment. Because they look cool. I'll take off the handbag at the same time. Let's just give these a little bit of a trim, make sure they're so it looks like a standard sort of Warlord's sort of socket where the head goes in. The arm actually has a little socket joint there, which is kind of useful because on the arm, on the shoulder socket, there's a corresponding pimple for it to attach to, so that will help. Just trim that all off. Okay, just tidy up the head a little bit. There's always a little bit of a bit where the under the chin, but sort of what would be the throat, I guess, that always has a little bit of a bit of plastic sticking through. Come on. Alright, and to resort to this stuff because I can't find any bloody plastic that plastic glues that seem to work, which is really annoying. Really annoying. I've got dozens of bottles around here, but none of them seem to be running. So that's got a socket there for the head to go in. Hopefully my fat fingers aren't making that too obscured. There we go. There we go. And the arm. Yes, it's got a ball and sort of socket there to put that on. There we go. Now then, it appears there's a little ridge in the leg there, which is where it corresponds to a bit of a lump there. Oops. Corresponds there, that's it. So it just fits in there. There's a little ridge that it sits in on. So it should be quite straightforward to stick. Let's just give that a go. There we go. Well, that's pretty simple. There's a little ridge that sits into, and the head sits nicely into its socket. The arm sits nicely on its ball socket. So that's actually very simple. Not the best sort of sculpted models I've ever seen in my life. But I guess it will do. Alright, let's make up some more and I'll be back. Yeah, I nearly forgot. Before I go, let's have a look at the metal officers. So, slightly eerie. So there's a man there. So we've got 2 metal officers, but only 1 metal horse. It's interesting. So he's got a empty arm socket. Okay, so he could be a trumpeter, the guy with the standard or a sword, as could that guy. Oh no, hang on, I sound corrected. So this guy's got an empty socket which only fits the sword arm. So he must be designed to be the officer. And then this body can either have the bugle or the standard. Bit annoying they're bent to buggery. A bit weird that there's only 1 horse. It's a bit cheeky. It says 2 metal commander miniatures, officer and trumpeter. Well, it has, but it hasn't got a horse to go with it. The picture shows 12 men and then 1 separate with the standard. So I think they've been a bit sneaky there. Can't help feeling they've been a bit sneaky there. Well, we'll have to work out how we're going to do that. Alright, so I put all the models together. They were dead simple. I knew they would be. There's basically appears to be 2 variants of the horse. You've got this one, and you got this one. That's your 2 options. But they're, as you saw, they're halved, so you just put them together. They don't seem to have an awful lot of, no real gaps. They've done the thing which a lot of the models do now, where the straps of the horse are, is where they've hidden the joins. So the join is, I'm not even sure which side it is, but underneath the reins, running around the front, and obviously here where this strap heading down to the tail is, so that hides it really nicely. Means you don't have to worry too much about that. So you've got 13 horses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plastic, and then the metal one that we saw. So the 12 obviously become the riders. Now, interesting with the figures, the riders, you've got the officer. Not sure about the arm position. He's sort of got an overarm. He's sort of that sort of charging position of arm. Not sure. Might redo that one. But he'll obviously go on the horse that's sort of rearing up. Oops, glue's not stuck there yet. Damnation. Definitely hasn't stuck yet. And then you've got this metal body, which you can obviously affix the standard on. So I've decided to do that with mine, and then you put a plastic head on. The other option you can do, and you don't have to, you could put a sword on here instead, is put the trumpet on one of the plastic men. So that's what I've done. So I'm going to have a standard bearer and a trumpet guy in mine, but that means I've got a spare figure, because you get enough plastic figures to put them on all the 12 horses. So the fact that I'm using this metal guy means I don't need that one, so it gives me an extra body which I'll put in my bit box. as with the horses, not an awful lot of variety. The only variety you really get is the shako. So whether you go the covered shako, or as I've done, the uncovered shako, or you go for the bearskin. The sword, it's limited positions to where you can place it, really. You can have it slightly forward like that, or on its shoulder, resting, or in between. That is it. So variation is going to be limited. Now I've gone for 2 guys with bearskins, because they are Busbies, because they're going to be my elite company. I'm going to have 2 men who are the command group, so the standard and the trumpet, and the rest just bog standard troopers. So yeah, thumbs up for ease of put together. Slight wobbly for a variety of poses, because there isn't much, but you know, they're bog standard light cavalry, so they'll do the job. So next up with this, you can see I've basically done my usual route of sticking. I'm going to put mine on 5x5 bases, because that's what black powder uses. Excuse me, I've stuck 1 horse on half of the base and leaving the gap for the other horses, and then the other spare horses I've just stuck with Yoo-hoo glue, so that these are easy to remove, just as something to hold on to paint. Because obviously if I put them on the base with these, it'd be really hard to get round them, so that's why I've done that. And then I'll basically prime all these with my usual Halford's light grey primer, and we'll be back to start doing some painting. So the Chasseurs à Cheval are coming along rather nicely. Horses are pretty much done. I have basically decided that they are going to have a mixed bag, or they have now because I've painted them, a mixed bag of horses, so they're not all the same colour, just because I think as a light cavalry regiment, generally they were down the pecking order in terms of horse flesh, shall we say. So I've done a couple of them on greys, the officers' horses on a grey, and then I've got, I'm not quite sure, I think 4 of them done with Gore Grunter fur contrast paint, and 2 of them with Templar black, actually 3 of them with Templar black, sorry, and a couple of them with Agris Dune. And they've come out right. I painted them on. They've all got horse blankets that look like they're some sort of wool, so I did them white. Excuse me. Now, the regiment I'm doing is the 23rd Chasseurs à Cheval. They were part of the corps that I'm doing for 1812, and so looking at my reference book, move them out of the way while I'm doing that. There we go. This is Brassey's History of Uniforms, Napoleonic Wars, Napoleon's Army book, by René Chartrand. And he says in here, he gives all the different regiment, you know, kind of what they look like. So the 23rd Regiment in 1812 had a green coat with red-orange cuffs and collars, and presumably turnbacks as well. And also he says that the officers had red-orange breeches or overalls on them. So yeah, so what I've done is I've basically used this contrast paint Crypto Hound orange, and then I've highlighted it with Amarand red, which is kind of a rosy red, really. And you can see here I've basically done the bedroll on the back of the horse blanket, I guess it is, and I've edged the edge of the saddle cloth, and there's a sort of a join line through the middle there, which I've also done that way. And then the trumpeter in 1812 had the reverse colours. So it's a tradition in early French, in fact quite a lot of Napoleonic armies, where whatever the troopers had uniform-wise, the musician or the trumpeter had the opposite. So my guys have green jackets and this sort of reddy brown cuffs and collars. So for the trumpeter, he has a reddy brown jacket and green cuffs, and I haven't done his collar yet, but yeah, so his trousers apparently stayed the same. So that's what I've done with him. There's one of the regular troopers already on his horse. Solid green. What I used for that was actually this paint, contrast paint again, Warp Lightning, because actually I think this green is really good. It seems to match all the colours that you see in the illustrations. So I've done the whole figure in that, and his handbag. Yeah, so and I've super glued them now to their horses. There's one of the officers. So I'm going to have, there's 12 figures in the regiment, and then the extra officer who will be a kind of squadron or brigade commander of some sort. So this is going to be the squadron or regiment commander. So I've done his trousers reddy brown because that's what the reference says, and I'll do they have edging, they have sorry, sort of stripes down the leggings, which all of these do actually. And I'm going to just make these a little bit reddier. At the moment they're quite browny red, if you see what I mean, instead of orangey red, but I'm going to lighten that down with the extra red coat over the top. Same with the bugler. And there's our man, who is the metal figure. He's going to go on this horse here. There we go. To lead the regiment. So, yeah, quite happy how it's coming along so far. There's our standard bearer. So you can see the base coat of green is on. The browny orange where the troops are going to have reddy orange trousers are done, and reddy brown tops, coats, that's what I mean, are done. So I think next I'm going to do the skin tone, probably do the shakos and the hair, and then I don't know, may do some over colour on the browny colours just to make it more reddy orange. Back in a minute. So the chasseurs are coming together rather nicely now. I have done the shakos, obviously the boots were already done, touched up some of the collars. I've also done the faces. Actually, this one's probably easier to see. I've tried a different method for the first time. Normally I paint pale flesh and then I use the contrast paint over the top. This time around I've done it the other way around. I've used the dark oath flesh, and then I've just touched up on the nose, the chin, the cheeks and the knuckles and that sort of thing with the paler colour. We'll see what that comes out like. I'm sort of intrigued by that. I see a lot of people doing just sort of touching up the knuckles and things like that. So anyway, I've started doing the white straps around the handbag here, and also the belts. There's another one down here, you can see. So I'm kind of happy. Shakers, as I say, are done. Just going to finish off the belts. I need to do the hair yet, and the moustaches on the ones that have got them. Need to check out what colour pom-poms they have. I think they're white, and the red for the elites, because these are the Busby wearing elite company. So I've done 2 of those, as you saw. So I think they're coming out really nice. I'm quite pleased with them. The green seems to work beautifully. Although it's a tough colour to overpaint with a pale colour, I've noticed. So a couple of places where I'd splodged and then I had to try and then touch another lighter colour over the top. It was difficult to get it to show up. Anyway, so I'm going to finish off the white. It's a fiddly job, but hey, it's fine. And then do the hair, and I may just do the muskets. Each of them got muskets, got carbines down their legs here, strapped on the legs. I'll probably work on those as well. So, looking good. Back in a bit. So these are coming together rather nicely now. So move my back finger out of the way. You can see I've done the cross belts on all 12 of them now. Well, 13 if you count the leader. They'll need a little bit of touching up, but they're okay at the moment. The skin tone, actually, I'm quite pleased with. I've given it a little wash with skin wash, which I don't normally do, but I think it's having a nice effect. Actually, I quite like it. Let it dry properly. Yeah, quite happy with how these have come together. I've got to do the carbine next, and probably the sword. Done the pom-poms, done white pom-poms for the regular troopers, the officers and the elite company. I've got red pom-poms. This one's got a red and white pom-pom, so yeah. So I'm quite pleased with how these are progressing. They're looking pretty good. So as I say, carbine next. Touch up the straps. Not entirely sure what to do on the handbag. Well, that one needs a bit of touching up. I know it's not called a handbag, but I can't think what it is called. Can't see an image of it. Oh, it's supposed to have the Imperial. Okay, it's supposed to have the Imperial eagle on there. That could be challenging with my painting skills, but hey, whatever. We all need a challenge in our lives, don't we? Back in a bit. Okay, these are pretty much done now. Silver's done on them, swords, what have you. The scabbards. I've tried to freehand this all. Well, they're supposed to be eagles. A couple of them look more like swastikas, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. So they're okay. Actually, I mean, I've spent probably more time on these cavalry than I have on any other figures in recent time with my napoleonics, which is kind of ironic since they're French and I'm probably not going to use them. But hey, maybe I'll secretly become a French lover. I don't mean a French love, you know what I mean. That I might actually start to love to play the French. I've done the carbines. Yeah, these are pretty much done. All they're going to, and obviously I've stuck them now onto their pairs. So there's our regiment, ready to rock. There's the commander. Quite pleased with him actually. He's come out nicely. So they need a wash. Obviously the horses already had the wash, so I'm not bothered about them. But the riders need a wash, and the base is done. And then they'll get a varnish, and I'll show you what they look like then. And that's the Chasseurs finished, and I'm really pleased with them for Frenchies. Yeah, this is now the 23rd Regiment of Chasseurs at Cheval, which was part of the 9th Corps in 1812. There's another regiment, I think the 24th Regiment was also part of this corps, or was brigaded with the 23rd and 24th brigaded together in this corps. So I'll, at some point, I guess, if I'm going to really do more of this corps, I will do some more Chasseurs à Cheval. But for now, that's quite enough Frenchies, I think. And I'm pleased with them. I spent a little bit more time on them than I have done with some of my other figures, ironically. And I'm quite pleased with the effect. I think it looks good. The regiment is pretty good. So they've got a standard on there. I wasn't sure whether they, because I don't know that much about the French army that much, I wasn't sure whether they have the standard with the eagle, but there seem to be quite a lot of illustrations showing both, so I've done that. This is the standard for the first squadron, and there is the metal officer that came separately, or came in the box. So we've got 12 riders, and 1 brigade commander, I guess he will be. The trumpeter is in the middle there. This guy I turned into the officer, so he's got red trousers or reddy brown trousers, because that's what they had apparently. And the trumpeter, as was common in the period, reversed the colour scheme, so he's got the reddy brown jacket and green facings and turnbacks and so forth. So yeah, there you go. That's another regiment done. Nice to get one out of the box of spare figures waiting to be done, and nice to get another unit done. Nice to get cavalry done as well, actually. Quite enjoyed doing them. Doing cavalry with contrast paint makes such a difference, and I'm really pleased in the end I went for a bit of colour variety in the horses. I think it actually works really well and adds to that variety and sort of irregularity, if you like, that light cavalry have. So there you go, that's that project finished. Shock horror probe, Dom does a French regiment, whatever next. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I hope you're going well, I hope you're staying safe. I hope, I hope everything's going well for you and your projects are proceeding well. And I hope we all get back to some gaming very soon. This is Dom, signing out.